Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to our stat draft series where me and a couple of guests draft stats for the upcoming month. Now, last month, I finished last place, Noah finished second place, and then Will, standing in for Justin, finished in first place. So the standings are we are all tied up at 4. We're back to even heading into June, and we're about to spin a wheel to see which stat we're going to draft for this month. Now, give us ideas for next month for pitcher stats, and we'll see what we can throw on the wheel. So, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get right into it. So, we're doing strikeouts today. We're going to draft 9 players, just like one per position, and we're aiming for the high numbers. So you're looking for guys that strike out the most. Okay, same rules. One team, once a team is picked, nobody else can pick that team. As an example, if you pick Aaron Judge, somebody else can't turn around and draft Cody Bellinger because they're both on the Yankees. That's how it's going to work. Let's get into it. Last month, Will drafted for Justin, and he won. He had like 244 strikeouts. Noah came in a close second place with just about 200, and my team essentially just died. And we had 144 as a team. So shout out me. So, Justin, I'm going to give you the option. Do you want the first pick?
I do not want the first pick.
Okay. Then who do you want to have the first pick?
You know what? Let's flip it. You lost, so Josh, you go first.
Same bit, snake draft order. The standings now are tied. Everybody has 4 points for the season standings. So shout out the parity that I have clearly created in this league. That means nothing. Um, okay, so I have pick number 1. Shout out Justin. I'm going to start with a guy that struck out, and because I've done no research into this, obviously, because we just figured out what we're doing. I know a guy that struck out like it felt like 500 times last year, but it really was only like 240 or whatever the number wound up being. I'm going to take Ezekiel Tovar from the Colorado Rockies to be my shortstop and just be 1-1. I have no idea what his strikeout rate is right now, but even if it's like significantly better, I feel okay about it. So that is going to be my shortstop.
I gotta say, Ezekiel Tovar was not on my bingo card for going on this list, but here we are.
Much less 1-1.
Colorado Rockies represent in the one spot.
Hey man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know? Uh
Um, Fair. I'm gonna I'm gonna make it nice and snappy on the first one. I'm gonna go O'Neal Cruz. The guy's got the plate discipline of a pizza pan, and I
Yep.
love that for him.
okay, okay.
Well, we already have stolen picks. I was gonna go with my fantasy guy O'Neal Cruz, or would have gone with my old Homer Braves pick and Marcell Ozuna to get the Pirates out of the way, but I can't now that the Pirates are gone. So let me go ahead and wish some ill will on the Cincinnati Reds because they just beat us today. Ellie De La Cruz has a lot of swing and miss in the bat. He performs well, but he does have a lot of swing and miss in the bat. So get my shortstop out of the way with Ellie De La Cruz. All right. So when I look through the stats from this past month, in the month of May, I see a ton of swing and miss from this Detroit Tigers first baseman. And he's not really had too great of a month either. So I'm going to go ahead and take first baseman Spencer Torkelson from the Detroit Tigers. Sorry, Torque. I hope you suck this month. And by the way, that was a 36.9% strikeout rate, which was second in baseball in the month of May.
Wow. Dude, look at you having a stat page ready to go. Being
That is only
prepared
that
and
is the only
stuff.
way I'm drafting this team right now.
For my pick number two, I think this guy has embodied the three true outcome of baseball, especially in its modern version. The guy can hit bombs, but holy cow, does he strike out a lot? None other than Kyle Schwarber.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
good pick. He was number one in all of baseball in the month of May in strikeout percentage.
Pennsylvania's gone.
The entire state. Gone in 5 picks. If you're from Pennsylvania, comment below. Let us know if you're excited about this development so you can click off the video, or upset that now you have nothing to look forward to. I am going to go with my man Ian Happ. The dude had 39 strikeouts last month, which is high. And I'm just going to take all of Chicago off the board, I think, actually. And I'm going to take my man Chase Mydroth because he is a strikeout just waiting to happen. And I think Murakami's injured, which was going to be what I originally did. So that is where we're at. And I'm going to have him as my second baseman because Colson Montgomery is their shortstop.
Murakami is out 4 to 6 weeks, so that's a great callback for you.
Yeah, I knew I saw that, and that was for sure what I was just going to reflex do, like with my original selection. And then I was like, I should look to make sure that that's accurate. Shout out to City of Chicago, really striking out a lot this year. Some reasonable baseball is happening. But
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
yeah, I know.
I want to take a short stop here. This guy also has zero plate discipline. It's none other than the American League leader in strikeouts. For well, no, he's the active leader. Zach Neto.
Okay, okay. Shout out the Angels.
Yep. Shout out Angels indeed. Which does potentially go after what could have been my DH pick. But I've got another one for that. So I'm going to rattle off my two in a row since it's back to a snake to me. I can't take this one player yet just because of good hope. But I'm going to take the Miami Marlins off the board. Give me Kyle Stowers in the outfield. And then I'll roll right back around to another one of my favorite players who happens to be a designated hitter for the Athletics, Brent Rooker. Both have massive power, but both have swing and miss in their game.
I should say, last month, Noah, I gave you the correct Suarez's strikeouts because I was curious because the other Suarez didn't pitch. So you got 9
Wait, we're
out
talking
of the
about Robert
original
versus
Suarez
Jose
that
on
you
my
wanted.
Braves.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you picked Robert.
Nope, he for sure didn't. But that is what I
Oh, he
credited
did?
him for. It didn't matter. I was
You
trying to
know,
make either like first and second close or second and third close, and honestly, we were just in such different stratospheres that there was it was not possible.
when I saw Suarez on the list that I was looking at, I was like, you know what? This feels like a very good pick because I know this name. Turns out it wasn't the name.
Which was funny. It was unfortunate, but it was funny.
I had a feeling. I thought about that all month. I'm like, you know, this guy is just not going to do anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, my team was so beaten and battered, it didn't matter.
For this one, I think he's got a lot of potential. He's just got to figure out how to not strike out so much. His on base percentage is still really, really good despite it. But sorry, James Wood, I'm grabbing you.
Every time I see a video of him, I have the same reaction, and that's basically, wow, that's a large man. It's essentially the same reaction I had to Aaron Judge for the first like 3 or 4 years, but now it's James Wood because I think I'm now used to looking at Aaron Judge, whereas I'm not as used to looking at James Wood at this moment. I don't know. Every time I see him, I'm like, that dude is just massive.
He is a very interesting watch because if you pay attention to how TVs frame their cameras, I'm convinced, and I have no science to back this up, but I'm convinced they zoom out a little bit just to fit him in better.
Okay, that would be interesting. Do a deep
Again,
That
I
would
dive
have
make
on
no
that.
sense,
proof.
though.
No proof.
No proof, but it's interesting. Let's see here. I got snake order. I'm gonna snag a guy off of Justin's Braves, and that's gonna be Austin Riley.
All right.
Because I don't think it's a stretch to say that he strikes out a lot, considering he was top 5 in strikeouts last month. Um,
Well, that was going to be my third baseman pick that I didn't want to pick yet. So shout out
get
being a Braves fan and not wanting
absolutely
to pull the trigger.
sniped, dude. Uh, and Atlanta used to play in Boston at one point. So now, because I love a good segue, shout out Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, all of you people. Um, I'm going to pick a Boston Red Sox, and it's going to be Jarren Duran because I've watched Red Sox games for a long time. Well, I watch more Red Sox games than what's probably acceptable for a non Red Sox fan, and he strikes out all the time. Like it is genuinely unbelievable how the clip that he is striking out because I feel like he's a much better hitter. Like he's a good hitter, I feel like, but he strikes out all the time, it feels like. So that's going to be my pick. So no, it's back to you.
All right, I'm gonna mix and match like MLB The Show.
Yeah, that's
Aaron
fine.
Judge is my left fielder.
Okay. I would
Okay.
give you actually James Wood as your left fielder and Judge as your right fielder because I think Wood
I
actually
like it.
plays out there.
Okay. Okay. So that comes back to me with the snake draft. And surprisingly, this this first player I'll pick from the Padres had a 35% strikeout percentage last month. And, shout out Atlanta Braves. Got to get my Braves in here, even though they're not currently Braves. Give me Ramon Laureano from the Padres as my right fielder or left fielder, whichever corner spot isn't taken there.
They're for sure both taken. So I'll
Well, what do you
put.
mean? Brent Rooker's my DH.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure
yeah.
just credited him as an outfielder for you, but that's fine.
All right, so yeah, Laureano is my other corner outfielder with Brooker as my DH. But then to get third base off, I'm going to go to a Japanese signee with the Blue Jays that has not necessarily taken off, minus hitting a bunch of homers. So as you see, the theme of my team, guys that hit a lot of homers but also strike out a lot. So give me Kazumo Akamoto from the Toronto Blue Jays as my third baseman.
I'm a little blown away that this one has fallen. It feels like it fell. This is another guy who is homer or bust, but is less homer these days since being traded. I'm going to go with the struggling Giants player, well, team also, Rafael Devers.
Okay. I thought about it. Um,
I would like him as my third baseman.
your third baseman.
Yeah, don't tell the Red Sox. They might have beef with me for
Okay,
that.
that's fine. You know who doesn't have great bat to ball skills? And there's so many of them. There was a guy I watched play on the Mets for a long time who played first, and that dude strikes out a ton. So I'm going to take Pete Alonso. I am going to go and pick everybody's favorite Italian, Jack Caglione from Kansas City. Just watched him play on Friday, and that dude is hitting like a buck 90, and he was for sure standing out in right field the whole game. So that is where I'm going to put him. So Noah, it's back to you.
I kind of like this pick. Um, and Josh, as a Rangers fan, I feel like you could probably predict who I'm about to take. Came over from the White Sox, none other, Jake Berger, one of the best last names going in
Okay.
baseball right now.
Uh, yeah, they opened a Whataburger inside the ballpark a couple of years ago. It was actually perfect timing. I think they did a Whataburger Jake Burger like jersey giveaway this year.
That's awesome.
So really, it's a great crossover. But yes, that guy strikes out a lot.
The Danny, I don't know if there's cursing allowed on this page, so bleep me if you need to. The Danny fucking Burgers. Um, Daniel Vogelbach, he's the Brewers hitting coach right now. And anytime I hear that come up, I always think of Jake Burger. So when
Yeah.
I said Jake Burger, I thought Danny fucking Burgers.
Honestly, same. That little clip plays in my mind a lot when he comes up. Specifically, not when he strikes out, but when he pops out.
I mean, fair.
Uh,
He, it's always amazing for me because watching a Brewers game, it's like, whoa, there's Daniel Vogelbach, there's Danny fucking Burgers. But
yeah,
I can
yeah.
only imagine from your side, a guy named Jake Burger is embodiment of that.
Dude, it's crazy. Great name. One day we're going to do a names draft. That feels like a lockout activity, but we'll see how we go. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Justin, it's to you, man.
All right. Well, with what was going to be my horrible segue, that was instead of Noah's terrible joke. We go from one strikeout guy in the state of Texas now to another strikeout guy in the state of Texas. He can play second base or center field. He will be my center fielder in this one. But Astros' own Bryce Matthews,
Interesting.
and
Okay.
then after you get Bryce Matthews down, it is back to me
Yep.
to roll around. And the reason why I did not take a second baseman is, as Noah will know very well, there's a very good second baseman that struck out 27% of the time, although he walks 17% of the time. Go ahead and give me Bryce Terang. I think he'll swing and miss a bit more this month and get closer to that 30%, unfortunately. But in reality, he has a high strikeout percentage this month and is one of the second basemen that was not picked from a team. So give me Bryce Terang. So Bryce Matthews and Bryce Terang, which
Noah, you
leaves
watch
catcher.
more Brewers games than Justin and I do. I almost promise you. Do you feel like Terang strikes out a lot? Like just on vibe?
No, not really. I will say this. He's been scuffling at the plate as of late. His batting average went from about 302 to I think he's at 263 within just a couple of weeks. So it might just be that stretch that he's on that's contributing heavily to Justin picking that.
I mean,
So,
heck,
You got to
we
pick
played
but
for
half the
something, you
league.
know?
I need somebody at second base.
once he finds his swing, I have all the confidence in the world that we'll get there just fine. But for the sake of this draft and for the sake of my sanity, for a key player on my team, I hope that that's wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
But based off of vibes, I don't think it doesn't feel like he strikes out a lot.
yeah. Yeah, sure.
Um, Catchers are really easy to grab for this because a lot of them have no plate discipline. So I'm gonna wait, just like you guys, to grab one. Um, the Mets have been scuffling, and so has this guy basically his entire career. Brett Beatty is my second baseman.
Okay. Okay.
I think he's one of the most overrated players in the game right now, if he even is rated.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'll give you Beatty, the second baseman. Hold on. I would have just gone straight up their second baseman, Marcus Semien, is like bottom 10 in OPS this year. Shout out.
Semyon has
Sh-
Semyon has 7 less strikeouts than Beatty, so it's not a bad comp.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I was, I'm for the people maybe that are new and have made it 30 minutes into whatever this is. Um, Rangers Twitter, we hate watch people, as all fan bases do. And, we do a periodic check in on Semyon and Adolis Garcia, and both of them are bottom like 10, I think, in OPS this year. And so we're just like, man, for as bad as it is, it could be just so much worse for the Rangers. But those two aren't there, so it's not as bad. Instead, we get to watch Nicky Lopez try to hit for the first time in his life, it looks like. But he hit a
Hey, he played pretty
homer
well
the
in that
other
game.
night, so that was kind of cool. Shout out. Um,
Random fun fact that I know about Nicky Lopez for no reason is that he's from Illinois.
wow.
That is
I
true.
don't know why I know that, but I just do.
Uh, dude, he was like 0 for the season till the other night. Then he hit a homer, and we were like, thank God he got a hit, and it happened to be like a home run, and we were like, wow, this guy is
They were
just
talking they were talking on the Brewers broadcast about him for some reason. I think it was one of their radio broadcasts, and they said that the only reason he consistently gets a job is because of his fielding, and his bat is more so a liability. So I can imagine as a Rangers fan for you, that's got to be hilarious to try to watch him play.
dude. It's it's not great, but honestly, he is better than any second base option we've had the entire season. So like, shout out, I guess. Let's see here. I believe that I now am at a point where I need to pick a catcher since I have two picks left and one of them needs to be a catcher. Um, and so I'm giving it a good scour, you know. Justin's favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals, um, have a catcher that strikes out a lot, but I never watch them, so I don't even know if he's like alive right now. Seems like he is. So I'm going to take Ivan Herrera to be my catcher in a twist that only God himself could have predicted at the beginning of this video. And so now I can pick anybody from any of these like 5 teams, 6 teams, however many are left. The Twins are screaming at me. The Twins are bad. They got to strike out a lot. Yeah, probably. That's my assumption. Noah, you live there. I feel like they strike out a fair bit.
They do, and Matt Wallner is like one of the guys leading that charge.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of playing time because he strikes out so much, so maybe that's a detriment to your draft.
Well, I could be persuaded. I feel like actually I'm just going to go with the really, really easy answer and hope that he doesn't die on me this month. I'm going to make sure he's currently alive right now, though. Nope, he has hip flexor tightness. So I'm not doing that. And I'm just going to go Josh Bell because that dude plays
That's a
every
solid one.
day. That dude just posts. Um, so that'll be what I do for my DH. And hopefully that all works out. I think that I have selected a team that is going to strike out about 1,000 times. So, Noah, it's to you to close out your draft. You need a catcher, and then Justin needs a catcher. So that's where we're
I
at here.
I think among all of these drafts that we've done so far, this is the most confident I've been in a team that I've drafted. Like respectfully to all of these guys, they've all
Yeah, yeah.
gotten to the big league, something I can't even imagine sniffing. But my last one is a guy that was in the MVP discussion last year, and for
Okay.
a lack of any sort of reason, he's been terrible this year. Give me Cal Raleigh as my catcher.
Okay. So I'm going to pause here because I looked into it, and I think he's coming back from injury as a
Yeah, he's on the IL right now.
warning. So we can
Damn,
still
I
do
didn't know
that because I'm pretty sure he's supposed to come back at some point this month. But
that. Okay.
because I'm pretty confident once he comes back, he is going to be striking out at breakneck speeds again.
You
But
know what? Let me keep him. I feel very confident that even with 2/3 of a month, he'll still be worth a pick.
All right, and Justin, it's to you. You have to
Uh,
pick a catcher from one of these four teams now.
which are, because I cannot see that on my screen, it's Dodgers.
You got the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Rays, and the Guardians. And there's some
Okay.
options there. There's some names
There
that
there are.
immediately came to mind. So,
Yeah. So when I look at the Diamondbacks, they've got some guys that don't really have a lot of bat at all. Um, and then there's obviously one that's actually kind of got a bat for a catcher, but still struck out at a decent rate last month. Um, but as I continue to roll through these, everything keeps screaming to me, um, McDonald's. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take David Fry. He started the most games. Yes, easy hanging fruit with Boston Hedges because he is just a glove. But David Fry plays more games and had a 26% K rate for the Cleveland Guardians last month. So we're gonna McDonald's it up. Give me David Fry as my catcher. Hopefully he plays just as many games next month, and my draft is now complete.
okay. So,
You know, it's too bad that Phil Koch is not active or a hitter because we as a collective draft could have drafted Koch, Burger, and Fry.
which would have honestly been one of the greatest moments of my life.
Biblical scenes, if it would have been.
For funsies, we got to pick a tiebreaker just in case. This is not an injury thing. This is just if the number is tied, this is what decides it. So Justin, because it's snake draft order, you're up first for the tiebreaker. You can pick any player from Tampa Bay, Arizona, or the Dodgers.
All right, Tampa Bay, Arizona, or the Dodgers. So, not really having done any research on this, let me roll through real quick. I still think I'm going to pick a Dodger because my Braves hate of them. So
Where was your Braves' hate of them in the first 9 rounds of this draft? The people would
I
like
mean,
to know.
um, I see people that strike out more. But this will be in detriment of my fantasy baseball team. For those that might know that I play fantasy baseball in Josh's league, shout out my hopeful victory over him today. But next month it's going to hurt me. So Teoscar Hernandez will come back off the IL very, very shortly. And he will go back to striking out, although he was hot before going on the IL. So he comes back, he's scuffling a little bit. I'll take the Dodger out the way. Give me Teoscar Hernandez.
Okay. So that's your tiebreaker. Noah, it's to you. You have either Arizona or Tampa. is where we're at here.
Oh, jeez. Um, Hold on. Let me do a little quick research.
I do think that's the appropriate response to needing to draft somebody from Arizona or Tampa in a strikeout draft.
I'm not sure I could name more than 20 players combined on those
And you
rosters.
see why I stayed with the Dodgers.
I thought you were gonna go with Dalton Rushing.
I could have gone Dalton Rushing. I was thinking about Dalton Rushing for my catcher, to be honest with you. I just didn't think he would play over Will Smith as much.
Yeah.
Boy, that would have been a great draft to have Dalton rushing in because he's just such an asshole.
Yeah. Tune in next month for the just general bads vibes draft.
Okay. I really like this player. He's had his struggles, but I think he can pull through for me in the weirdest of ways. Corbin Carroll.
Okay. Now, if we were a triples draft, did you guys see him get domed the other night with no helmet on? Because it just always flies off.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
He
crazy.
has more triples than home runs.
It's impressive. Um, let's see. So that leaves me with Tampa. And this actually makes sense because I think Tampa has the lowest strikeout rate this year because they have the highest like contact rate. Because I was watching a video of like, oh, they broke baseball or whatever because they just slap the ball everywhere and run. So let me pull up a roster because I'm not
Which
sure
is
that
why
I
you're going to
can
pick
name
Chandler
more
Simpson.
than about 10 of them, 5 of them. I think I'm just going to go with the real obvious answer. And that real obvious answer is Jonathan Aranda because that guy has basically double the strikeouts of second place. And I'm doing some rounding for for effect. But he's got 56 strikeouts this year, and that feels like the direction that I'm gonna go with my tiebreaker. And honestly, there's a world that that right there is my top strikeout guy for the whole draft, and he won't even count. So those are our teams. Justin has Fry, Torkelson, Terang, Okamoto, Ellie De La Cruz, Laureano, Bryce Matthews, Stowers, Rooker, and then his tiebreaker is Teoscar Hernandez. Noah, you have Cal Raleigh, Berger, Beatty, Devers, Neto, Wood, Cruz, Judge, Schwarber, and then Corbin Carroll is your tiebreaker. I have Ivan Herrera, Pete Alonso, Mydrith, Riley, Tavar, Hap, Durant, Caglione, and Josh Bell with Aranda as my tiebreaker. And we'll see. We will see what happens. Noah, who do you think won? Looking at these.
I I think I've got this one finally wrapped up for my first month win.
Okay.
I like I said about 5 minutes ago, I like my team a lot this month, but who knows? Maybe these guys will get some play discipline.
Yeah. You never know, I guess. You never know. I feel like I kind of like my team, but we'll see. I legitimately have no idea what's about to happen. I've never rooted for people to strike out. So, in actual baseball news, did y'all see the month that Christopher Sanchez had and Mizrowski? Both of them kind of shut
Pretty
it
elite
down.
month by both of them.
Who would be your monthly Cy Young? I'm gonna ask Justin because I know the answer from Noah.
I would agree with what Noah's pick is, and I would say Jacob Mezrowski.
Okay.
I Here's the thing. I respect what Sanchez is doing. No runs allowed over the course of an entire month is insane, especially with, the number of innings he's got. I don't think it's a wrong pick if you were to even go that way. But
Yeah.
Mizorowski's just been so otherworldly dominant, and the one run that scored against him was an infield like fielder's choice. So like, you know, both guys have had probably the best competing player of the month pitcher cases I've probably ever seen.
Yeah. There's a Cliff Lee stretch when he's a Philly, like in the early 2010s, I think, where he does what Sanchez did. That was the thing that I started thinking about a couple weeks ago, watching Sanchez just throw up zeros. Is there's like a stretch of like 7 Cliff Lee starts where he allows like 1 or 2 runs, and I'll find it later and pop it on the screen. But that was the month that Sanchez had was like flashbacks to that for me. But I think that what Mizorowski does feels way more dominant. Like when he's on the mound, you watch him and you're like, how does anybody ever hit this guy? And I have this same feeling for Christopher Sanchez, but I have it less, if that makes sense.
I think it makes sense because it's like a overpowering type of thing. When you watch Mizorowski, it jumps off the screen like, holy cow, this guy is lethal. Like the outing he had against the Yankees, I think it was like 13 of his first like 15 pitches were 102 at least, and 8 of them were 103. I'm sorry. Your first ABs in a game and you're seeing 103, good luck.
Yeah, when you see that type of velocity and you're blowing doors past people, ultimate domination is the only thing people can think of when you see that. So, I mean, when you get Christopher Sanchez, who's still throwing what, 95, 97 sinkers, but still, I mean, it looks different when it's Meserowski, and he's so violent in his motion and things like that. I mean, it's just pure domination, pure like violence, and obviously that's what we love over here at the Baseball Adjacent channel. Shout out UFC, apparently. But we like ultimate domination, and I'll let Josh segue off of that.
No, yeah, we're big violence people. You heard it here first. Uh,
Shout out all the demonetized stuff we just got.
yeah, for Justin. Um, I think we're gonna end with something that Noah and I like doing a lot. We're gonna try this as a new way to end videos. We're just gonna look at an old timey baseball reference page and just admire for a minute. And this guy went viral earlier in the month. And I'm going to just start talking and see if I can get Noah to guess who it is. Because I feel like there's a chance that you saw this, but there's a very real chance that you didn't. So Houston no hit Texas early in the month. And the guy that closed it out, his last name is Christmas, not the baseball reference page we're about to pull up. But he was the second guy ever to make his major league debut in a no hitter. The first guy is the baseball reference page I have pulled up behind this Excel screen that you're currently looking at. Who was the first? And I'll give you a hint, it's an 1890s player.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I saw it, and I don't remember storing the name in my memory bank.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be so honest, I don't actually know the answer right now.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm going to flip over to it. And we're looking at Bumpus Jones, which, first of all, great name. I think I'm going to
Great
name
name.
my first son Bumpus because it's a name that needs to be brought back. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and
That's incredible.
we're gonna admire how truly tragic this man's career was for a moment as I pull that up over our heads. My man started, he pitched one game in 1892 and it was a no-hitter with 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. And then it all went downhill, dog.
Oh, man.
Holy cow, this is awesome.
It went yeah, I mean his first start is a no-hitter and then he is just bad for the next not even a lot of games, and they're just like, all right, he's out of the league. Like, see you later. I think the
Poor
The
concept
Bumpus.
of
fact
pitching one
he,
great game, turning around, and then pitching 35 just brutal baseball games, and then being out of baseball is just so funny, even back in 1893.
he doesn't even have any game logs available. I can't even go and look at specific games to see where it derailed for him. But this is incredible. I did not know this was the
Well, it
fact that
definitely
he had
took to
two
see that
complete
he was like
games.
the 5 starter for 2 years that
He
you
wasn't
were
even the
hoping to have
five starter
offense
for a
to win
full year.
that
That
one.
was his only start in 1892. Is this no hitter?
Oh yeah, you look at what he did in 93 though. He was definitely your innings eater guy.
Well, I think
In
everybody
The
back
fact that
then.
he managed to have two complete games despite a 10 ERA is absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's truly inspirational, you know?
He earned a half a WAR from one game.
I feel like, and follow me here, if you throw a no hitter, that should be 1 war.
Agreed.
You know, that feels like that would just make the math a little easier. Um, yeah, so extrapolating from this, though, right? He threw 9 innings of no hit baseball, and he threw 41 and 2/3 innings in his career, which means that he threw like 32 of the worst innings known to mankind. between this no hitter and just being out of the league. Um, but you know what? He threw a no hitter. Shout out you, Mr.
Bumpus.
Bumpus.
I love that.
That is great.
His
So
name is his real full name is Charles Leander Jones.
great name, but for sure, Bumpus is just way cooler.
Well, hey, maybe
So
he
much
was named
cooler.
Bumpus because you're trying to say bump me from the lineup or the rotation, excuse me.
Maybe so. Maybe so. All right. On that note, we're ending it. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Take it easy.